Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Quianna's Shelf. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been brought to my attention that one of the persons that I have eulogized and commemorated this month have a controversy section on their Wikipedia page that is where there are allegations of anti-Semitism. So in this video, what I plan to do is address first those allegations on Stokely Carmichael's Wikipedia page, and then second, to address where I personally stand. So first, there is a section on Stokely Carmichael's Wikipedia page under the controversy section that stated that Stokely Carmichael was anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist. And there is also a passage where the Wikipedia is alleging that Stokely Carmichael praised Hitler. Now, to the first allegation. I believe that this information was inserted by information gathering agencies, whether that is the Federal Bureau of Investigations or the Central Intelligence Agency or some cyber hacker, to attempt to discredit the legacy of Stokely Carmichael. Now, how do I know this? Well, when I did the research for the Stokely Carmichael video and I looked thoroughly through his Wikipedia page, those entries, that controversy section, was not on his Wikipedia page. And those allegations of anti-Semitism was not on his Wikipedia page either. And so when I saw that the Stokely Carmichael video was getting more views than normal, I said something is up with this video, because oftentimes when that happens, this is an indication that information gathering agencies, intelligence agencies, are looking at the video and attempting to discredit it. So I looked at the video too myself several times, and I said, well, there's nothing really in the video. Let me see where there is a connection. And I looked again on the Wikipedia page and seen a controversy section, and saw the allegations that were being made against Stokely Carmichael. So with the first allegation that Stokely Carmichael was anti-Semitic, ladies and gentlemen, there are accounts in history where Stokely Carmichael is holding lectures talking about Judaism and his connection to Judaism, as well as Judaism and its connection to the African continent. Now, I am not a religious scholar, nor am I a religious academic, although I did take a course in religion when I was in undergrad. I don't follow religion and am not a person that believes much in theology. So having a debate about whether or not Judaism was born on the African continent is not a debate that I can have or that I'm willing to engage in. But as we know, there is much of the footage that I have seen that is clear that Stokely Carmichael is speaking in an assertive tone, assertively in some respects, about Judaism and Jewish people. Also, there is an attempt to radicalize and make it appear as if Stokely Carmichael was a violent person. Although Stokely Carmichael did see the need for Black Americans to protect themselves, like all communities in the world seek, right? There is no evidence in history that Stokely Carmichael was a violent human being. And I challenge whoever uploaded that information on Stokely Carmichael's Wikipedia page to show proof and to bring us evidence. Now, I'm willing to remove the video if there is authenticated, verifiable proof that Stokely Carmichael said anti-Semitic remarks and that we can hear that clearly. To reiterate, Stokely Carmichael died in the 1990s. This was a time where many interviews were being filmed and broadcasted over TV. So what I'm seeing online are pixelated versions of Stokely Carmichael speaking and voices that sound like Stokely Carmichael being attached to these videos, which are just altered fake videos to discredit Stokely Carmichael's legacy. Now, to reiterate, if you can find a clear video and link it in the description of this video of Stokely Carmichael engaged in anti-Semitism in a speech, saying that out loud, saying that he, in a speech or a lecture, because Stokely Carmichael gave many lectures. If you can find a lecture where Stokely Carmichael praised Hitler, I will do two things. I will remove the video and then I will condemn the actions. But I don't think that Stokely Carmichael engaged in any of this activity. Let's address the argument about Stokely Carmichael saying that he praised Hitler. Stokely Carmichael was a Marxist. Not only was he a Marxist, but he was a person that was part of the Black Power movement. These were two movements in history that had strong connections and strong bonds to the Jewish community. Not only that, but these two movements were deeply against Nazism and the treatment of those communities that have found themselves to be disenfranchised in history. So I believe that this is intelligence agencies that have created this passage saying that Stokely Carmichael praised Hitler. I don't believe that. And again, if there is evidence of that, bring us the evidence, show us the proof. Now, let's address these entries on Wikipedia. We do understand that anybody, a government agency, a person with a lot of money, can ask for information to be uploaded to Wikipedia or to ask for information to be removed from Wikipedia. And they can actually tailor that information to suit their interest. And so in university, what our universities teach us, especially if you are an undergraduate or a postgraduate, is you're being taught that Wikipedia is really not a strong source of information by virtue of the very fact that that information can be altered to fit a particular narrative. And it's also important to say that the allegation that Stokely Carmichael was anti-Semitic is also false, because Stokely Carmichael was described in a passage as being a Negro Zionist. So if some described him as a Negro Zionist, how could he be anti-Semitic is the question. So you can see that there is conflicting information that is being uploaded to Stokely Carmichael's Wikipedia page, not only to discredit his legacy, but to try and shine a negative light on my reporting for Black history to make it appear as if I'm aligned with anti-Semitism. And let's go ahead and get into that. Ladies and gentlemen, Quianna's shelf has never been a hub for hatred. I don't have any hatred in my heart for any group or any person. And you'll never ever find, never in history, me saying anything anti-Semitic, and you'll never find me saying anything Islamophobic against any group. Now, I have criticized Islam. I have criticized the forced veiling of women in Iran. I have criticized also the intimidation of human rights defenders and activists. I have also criticized, ladies and gentlemen, not only that, but I have criticized the ill treatment of people as it relates in proximity to the Islamic community. This channel is never going to be a hub for hatred. I love everybody, whether you're Black, you're Jewish, you're Irish, you're American. I love everyone, and I'm not going to ever engage in any hatred. And I'm not going to ever pick a side when both sides are in the wrong. Again, I believe in peace. I am an anti-war activist. And on this channel, I will do all that I can, like I've always been doing, to promote peace and harmony. And so we will be discussing this more later throughout this month. We'll be talking about this in greater detail, but I think it's just important for you to know that you'll never ever hear anything anti-Semitic from me. You'll never hear anything Islamophobic from me. And I would challenge the Federal Bureau of Investigations, as well as James Applegate, the U.S. consul, who actually crushed my dreams to find any information tying me to hatred, which I 100% believe that they cannot do, because hatred is just not in my ethos. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.